Welcome to People, Power, and Politics. Hard talk, riveting interviews, community updates, in-depth analysis. That's People, Power, and Politics. We tell it to you as it is. No holds barred. You are the people, you have the power. We bring you the politics. To listen to our podcast, be a guest, or to advertise, visit www.pppradio.nyc. That's www.pppradio.nyc.
Good day and a warm welcome to everyone. Today in the studio with us, we have a very special guest, Sabine Blaizin, Director of Programs of the Caribbean Cultural Center African Diaspora Institute, CCCADI. Ms. Blaizin, how are you today?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having us.
So can you describe the mission and vision of the CCCADI?
Yes, so CCCADI has been around for over 40 plus years, founded by Dr. Martha Moreno Vega. She was inspired by a letter that Arturo Schomburg wrote to Langston Hughes, and just had a really strong Pan-African, African diasporic vision. Although she was specifically of Puerto Rican descent, she had a strong vision in creating an institute that celebrates our culture, our arts, our spirituality. So our organization is an institute that focuses on racial and social justice through the lens of spirituality, education, media, and cultural arts programming.
How do you believe CCCADI contributes to the preservation and celebration of Caribbean and African diaspora cultures? And can you share any specific programs or initiatives that you find particularly impactful?
Yes. We are reflective of the Caribbean. Our founder, as I mentioned before, is from Puerto Rico. Our current staff is a beautiful array of folks from various parts of the Caribbean and the African diaspora. Myself, I'm of Haitian descent. And, specifically in terms of programming, it's very important that both our staff and the people that we work with are a reflection of our mission and our goals. But more specifically, in terms of servicing the Caribbean, we specifically center ourselves in the African diaspora, or Africa as the center, right? So we don't necessarily see a disconnect between people of African descent, although they tend to categorize us, and we are spread out geographically. In terms of the Caribbean, it's such a strong force, right, in terms of our interconnections and our African roots. So we have an Institute of Racial and Social Justice that spawned out of the era of the pandemic, the Black Lives Matter movement, our response to just be more specifically intentional around cultural equity. And as part of that, we've also created an office, a Caribbean Basin, that's housed in Puerto Rico, but it will create programming, fellowships, arts opportunities for folks that are based in the Caribbean as well, and be a hub for that. So that's one particular initiative that's Pan-Caribbean and Caribbean focus. We also have one of our many fellowships is our Afro-Caribbean Curatorial Fellowship. So those who are emerging and or current curators that need more training or network or community of folks to build their artwork, to build their pedagogy and their approach to social justice and cultural arts. We have our annual fellowship, the Afro-Caribbean Art Curatorial Fellowship.
So in what ways do you think CCCADI can engage and connect with younger generations to ensure the continuity and relevance of Caribbean and African diasporic cultures in the modern world? We are in New York, and we do have a very diverse diaspora here, but we are still a bit away from home, so to speak.
Yes. So we have also, as part of our arts education program, a youth component called Youth Pathways. And again, is Pan-African, African diasporic, but of course our young people span, various islands of the Caribbean as well, Black and Brown youth. Most specifically, and recently we launched our Sankofa Young Women's Leadership Program, which has been a partnership with various strong Black and Brown women teaching artists who are of Caribbean and African descent. Also, young women that we've recruited from local high schools, also across the boroughs, which also are a reflection of the Caribbean and people of African descent. We also have various programming. One is family intergenerational called Susu, which we have on Saturdays, where we have particular themed workshops with art making, storytelling, interactive activities, and we focused on the Caribbean and Jamaican storytelling as well as one example. In addition to that, we also have our family village, which is part of our annual outdoor concert called Afli Bembe. And within that family village, again, we do a lot of activities that span the African diaspora. But for instance, we've done a workshop around bomba, which is a particular style of music and dance with this African roots, but stems from Puerto Rico. So we offer workshops and community connections such as those to reflect our African diaspora, but specifically, naming and calling out and celebrating specific Caribbean traditions.
So your organization emphasizes community engagement and collaboration. Can you share an experience where you successfully worked with diverse groups, because you are a Pan-African organization, to achieve a common goal?
Yes. Wow. That's our mission. When we look at various communities within the African diaspora, each year we are very intentional and geographically highlighting different places, whether it's Brazil, Haiti, Puerto Rico, Jamaica, even from the continent as well. So our programs are vast. So in terms of arts education, we work a lot with families and youth and various teaching artists and our alumni that have gone through various fellowships. In addition to that, we definitely do a lot of music programming, concerts. One of our series is called Afro Waves, where we highlight specific genres of music that could stem from a particular geographical area in the Caribbean. Most recently, we've done a program which celebrated both Dominican and Haitian roots, with a particular band called Santurio Musica, for example. In addition to that, we are an institution in Harlem, a physical building, a firehouse that we've incorporated and acquired as a historical landmark. And within that firehouse of 4 floors, 2 floors is an art gallery, an interchangeable space. So we've had panel discussions around particular Caribbean traditions and issues. We've had art exhibits, which is very crucial to showing the beauty and the legacy and the history of our people. So in various different points of our programming is very vast. We highlight and showcase, our Caribbean roots and ancestors. One particular thread that's throughout all of our programming is Sacred Traditions, which really focuses on the history of our spiritual practices within the Caribbean and throughout the African diaspora. So we've highlighted the traditions of Ifa, Santeria, Voodoo, which specifically come from particular areas geographically in the Caribbean, like Haiti, and or Cuba, for example.
Okay, so it is Caribbean American Heritage Month. What is your message?
Caribbean, oh yes, American Heritage Month. So, June is chock full with a lot of things because Black Music Appreciation Month as well. It's Pride, etc. So we are celebrating right now a culmination of a 5-month series that we've created called Rhythm, Bass, and Place. And with that 5-month series, we focused on those particular program areas I talked about before. There are staples, right? We've done a film screening, various musical concerts, panel discussions. We have a full-on exhibition in our gallery space, in our firehouse. And the whole mission of Rhythm, Bass, and Place in this particular 5-month series is to highlight the beauty of Black music throughout the diaspora, but specifically geographically where it comes from and how it changed and shaped and highlights a particular culture. So when you think of a sound system, right, you think of Jamaica, right? When you think of house music, you think of Detroit. So we look at various places in the African diaspora that has lent itself to the history and the beauty of Black music. So specifically as it relates to the Caribbean, Rhythm, Bass, and Place has definitely been inspired by various places in the Caribbean. We highlight that, right? The origins of particular musical styles, whether it's merengue, reggae, soca, etc., and highlighting those pioneers and those traditions. Specifically, for example, as part of Rhythm, Bass, and Place, the current exhibit that we have, which closes on June 23rd, so people still have a chance to see it. We have 2 floors of a black and white photography exhibit. One photographer, Joe Conzo Jr., has been instrumental in documenting from the 70s to about the early 90s the birthplace of hip hop, which is the South Bronx, but also the communities and the genres of music and the culture that helped spawn it, right? We sometimes people know this history. We're celebrating the 50th anniversary, but a lot of hip hop history stems from Jamaica and Kool Herc, right? So really being intentional and highlighting that. In the South Bronx, with African Americans and Puerto Ricans being essential to the birth of hip hop in New York, right? So it also included elements of salsa, right, which comes from various places in the Caribbean, and influences like that. So, in our exhibit, in this 5-month series, we definitely highlight various areas in the Caribbean that has contributed to the global impact of Black music and our Caribbean heritage around the world.
So how can people get in contact with you and your organization, get involved, be a part of it?
Yes. So you can follow us at www.cccadi.org. That's our website, and you'll see all of our programming that has been virtual, archived there as well. Also upcoming events. Please save the date as well. June 24th will be our culminating of Rhythm, Bass, and Place, the 5-month series, and we're having a day party to celebrate. And myself, I'm also a DJ. Event curator and music producer. Again, I'm of Haitian descent, so my specialty in terms of music and DJing is incorporating Haitian roots with house music, and then our other guest DJs are going to do Latin and disco and house. So again, a celebration of our Caribbean and African diasporic roots and party and celebration. All that's on our website. You can also follow us on Instagram at CCCADI. Pretty simple there. And then also via our website, you could join our email list where we send out a monthly newsletter of different highlights within our community and work that's coming up.
Can I ask your DJ name?
It's actually my name.
Okay.
So it's DJ Sabine Blaizin. A lot of folks don't believe that's my real name because of my last name. So, yeah.
So what's next for CCCADI?
Yeah, so right now we are preparing a lot of culminating events. Our summer concert series, Afri Bembe, which highlights musical artists from throughout the diaspora. Our theme this year is Black to the Future. So it'll be an Afro-futuristic dedication, but again, from the Caribbean and other places in the African diaspora. So look out for that. And we're also preparing for an immersive year of programming, which will start in January 2024 and end November 2024. It will be called La Kai C'est La Kai, which means home is home in Haitian Creole. It would be an immersive year of Haitian-centered programming, which ties into our exhibits, our concerts, our films, our talks, etc. But specifically looking at Haiti as a center, right? But how Haiti has influenced the world, especially in thinking about concepts of freedom and what that means, and sovereignty and revolution, especially being the example and the callus of a first Black independent nation. So what does that look like now? Like some of those values or tenets that we could apply to racial and social justice today. So I'm really excited to curate and to plan that year that's centered on Haitian culture, art, spirituality, and this overall theme of freedom, and also concepts around home, right? And ultimately how it connects to our motherland, Africa. So yeah, that's what's next.
So thank you, DJ Sabine Blaizin, Director of Programs of the Caribbean Cultural Center, African Diaspora Institute. Lovely to have you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Welcome to People, Power, and Politics. Hard talk, riveting interviews, community updates, in-depth analysis. That's People, Power, and Politics. We tell it to you as it is. No holds barred. You are the people. You have the power. We bring you the politics. To listen to our podcast, be a guest, or to advertise, visit www.pppradio.nyc. That's www.pppradio.nyc.